JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 19th of July 2022. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation. It should not be considered as such and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course, our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out to see if you can find something useful. But guys, let's jump into the charts. The first one actually I want to pick up here is, as always, Nikkei 225. So yep, we pushed higher. Look at this. I mean, yesterday I talked about this and I said that, let's wait and see how this is going to open up today. So we opened up today, we pushed higher, but then we sold off and then we kind of climbed back up here. Either way, we still remained within this ascending triangle pattern. So in other words, let's wait and see, guys. Let's see. I mean, we're still kind of, hoping to see maybe a breakout here, but as long as it stays inside this pattern, guys, I'm just gonna continue observing this one, because for the downside I need to see a break of this lower side of the triangle. For the upside I need to see a break of the upper side of the triangle. So yeah, in other words, for now we're just playing the waiting game. Now jumping into Shanghai Composite here. Now this one's a little bit interesting because basically we climbed back above that 3,263 territory, and we managed to remain above it. We're still trading above it because we still have around 50 something minutes left of trading on the Shanghai Composite. So as long as we stay above it, maybe we could see a nice push back to the upside here towards that 208 EMA, and then we'll take it from there. In terms of the downside, I would like to see something else here. Probably a drop below last week's low near the 3,228 territory. Let me just put this arrow like this. So if we drop below this hurdle here, then yes, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low. And we could go further south. We could go for that 3,160 territory or even below that. So, in other words, guys, for now, let's wait and see. Let's see how all this is going to play out. But again, the fact that it's currently balancing above this 3,263 territory, that kind of gives a bit of hope. The only problem with this, of course, is the fact that we are still below all of the EMAs. So maybe this hurdle might not carry much significance later on, but again, that's a lot of a lot of information to take in. It's if you're, let's say, looking for some higher levels in general, you're looking for something, let's say, maybe a little more of a medium term, or like if for later on, then probably the easier option is to wait for a push above the 3,356 territory, the one that I talked about previously, and then we could start aiming further north. But this whole area here around those EMAs, that might be a tricky one, because I mean, it might it might find some hold up here somewhere, then reverse, or it could be, it could start oscillating around, let's say, maybe the 21-day EMA. So that's why I'm saying that, at the moment, if you're looking for some higher levels from the very near-term perspective, you could keep an eye on the 100-day EMA, but still, have your stop loss in place, because again, this area here is not really the most fantastic one, you know, to look at. So yeah, it is how it is, guys. Unfortunately, you know, you have to kind of, you know, go from what you have, and this is one of those moments when it's clear. Then yes, it's great, it's nice. You know, we can, you know, we can do something about it, but at the moment it's just, yeah, it's just kind of sitting there. Okay, so ASX 200. So I talked about this, and look at this. We got breakout through the upper side of the triangle, but we failed to move above that 6,694 territory, the one that I kept on talking about. So yeah, so we didn't really reach this barrier, and you can see what happened here. We reversed back down. So basically now we can get rid of the triangle pattern. I'll keep the I think I'll redraw this as well, because it might not work out, don't get me wrong, but just you know, trying to find here something. Let's say this short-term tentative upside support line taken from the low of the 20th of June. If we break below it and then we drop below this 6,521 territory, then yes, I'll go for the downside. Not only that I need to see a break of this upside line, but also a drop below that hurdle. For the upside, I still need to see that push above the 6,694 territory right there in order to get a little bit more comfortable with slightly higher levels up until this downside line taken from the high of the 20th of April. Now the German index DAX, so pushed nicely to the upside, and there we go. We got that push, we got that breakout above that 12,912 territory, and look at this. I mean, we tested the 21-day EMA. Yes, we overshot that, but it quickly drifted back down. It quickly stayed below the 21-day EMA. So now what's next? Basically, I would say, yeah, it could go further north here, but I would like to see a push above the 21-day EMA first, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. Let me just quickly double check the cash index. Yeah, so we're sitting at around 12,870 territory right now, so basically below yesterday's close, and not only that, we're back below this hurdle, this 12,912. So this is going to be quite interesting. So yep, we're sitting somewhere around here, and my question here is now, let's see how all this is going to play out today. But if we're going to remain somewhere below that 12,912 territory, then maybe we'll get ourselves a nice little island reversal here, guys. So yeah, one of those patterns when you know you have a push higher, but then let's say an island reversal here to the downside. So when we see a gapped you know, doji or a shooting star here, there's going to be another gap here right now. So yeah, this is called an island reversal. However, will that be the case? Let's wait and see, because we've seen that happening several times. And again, if today's trading, for example, if we do push higher again, then we know we can ignore that whole thing. So I wouldn't really focus too much on that kind of idea with the island reversal. At the moment, I'd rather stick to some of the levels and some of the lines. So for me, let's say with the upside, if we do climb back above the 12,912 territory, then yes, I will aim for the upside, and then we'll take it from there, especially if it also climbs above that 21-day EMA. So NASDAQ 100. So okay, so beautiful trading within the pattern still. So yep, I would say if we're looking for some higher levels, we need to see a push above that 12,176 territory. I'm still waiting for that. Yesterday we got a nice kind of test of that area, and yeah, we drifted back down. So it provided strong resistance. So in order to go higher, we need to see a nice good push above that barrier. In terms of the downside, we need to see not only that we need to see a break of this upside line, but also a drop below the 11,499 territory right there. The same analysis remains valid. The DXY, the dollar index, so we're drifting nicely to the downside, and we dropped below that 107.48 level. So okay, now the question is, can we see Can we see a move further south? Well, at least a move towards that 21-day EMA, because that's what I'm going to be aiming for, as long as we stay below that 107.48 level here. So at the moment, yeah, that's the kind of the target. Let's see if we can, clear this level as well, the 106.80 zone. If we could clear that, then we'll aim for that 21-day EMA, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. With the upside, I need to see a move back above this 107.48 level. I need to see the kind of the index staying above it, and this is where I need to adjust my other levels here. And then if we do stay above this area, then I will target the highest point, the current highest point of July, near the 109.29. There we go. So again, pretty straightforward on this one, to be honest. Not much to talk about here. We were seeing a nice retracement. That's fine. But will it be just that retracement? Let's wait and see. But at the moment, yes, I'm leaning towards the downside a little bit. Gold. Okay, gold had a good push higher yesterday. Look at this. I mean, we moved nicely to the upside. Almost managed to reach this downside line here, the one that I talked about previously. And then we drifted back down. So now we're flat again. So the downside scenario is not off the table. We could still see a move lower, but now I would prefer to wait for a drop below that 1697 territory right there in order to to aim lower, because a nice good break below that would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and then we would take it from there. With the upside, I would like to see a push. Above this downside line, which I've just adjusted again, just to be a little bit more, in line with the peaks. So yeah, if we do break this downside line, then we'll aim for that 21-day EMA. At the moment, although yes, we could be missing out on a bit of territory right there, but to be honest, it's all very tricky, and yeah, I'd rather stay on the safe side. WTI oil. So look at this. We're testing the downside line taken from the high of the 14th of June. So yeah, great news could be great news for the buyers, but I would prefer to wait for a clear break and the push above that 105.21 level. It's the same analysis basically, guys. Nothing new. Just a need to adjust a few levels here, and then yeah, we'll just kind of take it from there. With the downside, I would like to see a drop below that 93.56 territory around here. Oh, sorry, 93.56 territory around here. But if you're looking for something maybe more short term, what you can do here is keep your eyes on this little hurdle, this 100.92, or in general the 100 level. If we drop below it, then yes, we could go to the downside, and then yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. In terms of the upside, as I said, the same story, the 105.21 level, that's what I need in order to get comfortable with higher levels. Okay, so the crypto world, there we go. We managed to break. I talked about these two cryptos yesterday, so the BTC and ETH. So basically, what I said that look, I mean, we were trading yesterday near this downside line. So I said that if we fail to break it, then we might see maybe a drift back down. But if we push through it, yes, that would be great. But I would prefer to wait for a nice good move above that 22,490 territory. Which yes, we did get a move, but we're struggling to stay above that area, so that doesn't really help us much here. And I would say in order for me to go higher, I would like to see a push above this barrier, and I would like to see the crypto staying above that barrier in order to kind of get a little bit more excited with the upside. Then I'll aim for that 25,338 territory or this 100-day EMA. Ethereum, so a little bit more positive, but still the same game plan. So yeah, I also talked about this downside line. I said that if you break and stay above it, then there's a chance for a move towards this other highlighted territory, which is around that psychological 1700 level, or probably more precise 1701. But in general, yeah, 17,000 territory. Yes, I'm keeping an eye on that one. So Yeah, at the moment, like I said, yeah, it's a very important level. If we do clear that one, then yes, it could open the door towards that 200-day EMA maybe, or even higher. But if we struggle with this 1700 level, then well, guys, maybe we're not really done with the downside. AUD USD, so we pushed up nicely to the upside. We did get the RBA meeting minutes released today. So the bank continues to say that the rates are still too low for for the kind of to battle inflation. So yeah, I would say okay, that's quite interesting. So let's see how much more they can can raise their rates. But the market, the bulls, the Australian dollar bulls are getting a nice move here. We're enjoying the moment, and we're seeing a nice uprise, and of course weaker dollar is helping out here. So everything's working out nicely. However, we saw that move higher yesterday, and again we also tested that 0.6854 territory right there, which is around that that's 21-day EMA, which basically continues to provide resistance. So in order to go higher, we need to see a clear breakout through this area. If we get that, then yes, I'll go for the upside. I'll aim for that downside line, or maybe even higher. But at the moment, let's go slowly on this. If you're looking, like I said, for some higher levels, wait for that push up and wait for the pair to stay above that 21-day EMA. If we continue to trade above it, yes, I'll aim for this other downside line taken from the high of the 5th of April. AUD NZD, so yeah, breakout finally. Look at this. I mean, we broke the upper side of the triangle I kept on talking about, and now we're pushing higher. Now, there, as you can see clearly, although I don't have a line there, but you can see clearly that we're currently getting a hold up near the the previous already highest point of July, near the 1.1095. If we clear this and we push through it, then yes, I'll go for the upside. I'll aim for that 1.1170 level, and then we'll just take it from there. If we clear that, then yes, I'll go for the upside. With the downside here, we're probably the safer option is to still keep an eye on this upper side of the triangle pattern, and if we push back below it, then I'll consider maybe a larger correction here to the downside. Maybe we could end up even going towards this upside line, but taken from the low of the 19th of November. But at the moment, yeah, it's looking quite positive. So let's see if we can, get a move all the way here towards that highest point of June, and go from there. USD CAD, very quickly on this one. USD CAD drifted nicely to the downside. We broke yesterday, as you can see here, we broke yesterday this upside line. We fell below the 38.2% retracement on the Fibonacci. We then moved further south. We tested the 1.29 territory here and rebounded and moved back up. We're now resting on the 38.2% retracement together with that 21-day EMA, probably more of a EMA issue here. So we're currently resting kind of on this line. Can we see a further move lower? Well, I'm still leaning towards the downside, so in a way, yeah, there is a chance for a further move south. So in order to go lower, yes, I need to see a nice good drop below that 21-day EMA, just for that extra confirmation. For the upside, this is where probably I think it's time to get rid of the Fibonacci, because it's all a little bit in the way now. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit more clear. So, and some of the lines have to go as well. So basically this 1.3077 territory that I talked about previously, which worked out nicely before, now I think it's time to say goodbye to it and basically mark some other lines. And this one has to go as well. I think that the easier option is to keep an eye on this inside swing low here of the 15th of July near the 1.3013. However, we might change, we might change that, but at the moment I would say if it climbs back above this upside line, yes, I'll consider a move higher. If it doesn't, and instead it drops below that 21-day EMA again, then yes, I'll go for my next target, which is around the 1.2860 zone, and then we'll take it from there. GBP Aussie, haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but to be honest, since I looked at it last time, it's still doing the same thing. It's still kind of trading above this upside line taken from the low of the 5th of May, and still below this key resistance area, which is roughly between the 1.7857 and 1.7887. What I said to you before, that as long as it stays above this upside line, there is potential for this one to move higher. We could see a nice rebound here, but once it starts breaking this upside line and falls below that 1.7440 area, then yes, that may open the door towards some lower levels, guys. So, long story short, yep, that's the game plan here. Let's see how all this is going to play out. Euro CHF, just a quick update, and yep, one of my favorite pairs right now. And look at this, guys. Beautiful move to the upside. Broke out yesterday. I talked about this and I mentioned this, and I kept on talking about this for the past kind of couple of weeks. And yeah, we finally got that breakout. So I said to you that wait for it, and wait for it, because then we'll get more buyers interested maybe. And yesterday, for example, when I finished talking about it in my morning video, we had that pop straight away. We moved higher, but then we saw a correction back down where the rate got brought back inside the channel. And of course, such activity might spook, the bulls, but then the bulls, probably more bulls jumped in, probably the ones that missed out on the action. And look at this, we pushed higher nicely, and boom. My next target is the 0.9944 area right here, which we're approaching right now. Can we clear that? If we clear that, then yes, my next target is the 21-day EMA right there, which is roughly around that 0.9985 territory, somewhere around there. For the downside, I would like to see it drop below the 0.98 territory in order to get comfortable with the downside, because forthcoming lower low would be confirmed. And finally, EURUSD. So, okay, beautiful move to the upside, great. Yesterday, if you remember, I talked about this and I said that, look, I would prefer to wait for a push above the 1.0122 territory. We got that. There we go. Today we saw a bit of a retracement. This 1.0122 territory is providing support so far, and in general, to be honest, as long as we stay above it, I will continue aiming for that 21-day EMA right there. If we drop below this hurdle and stay below this hurdle, I'm going to remain a little bit on something on the neutral side. But if we start dropping below that parity level, the 1 level, then yep, that's where I will go lower. So yeah, pretty straightforward, to be honest. Let's see how all this is going to work out, guys. I would say the market is like 50-50. It's like interesting and not, to be honest. But yeah, we might squeeze something out of it. So be careful, be cautious, and have your stop losses in place. So once again, thank you as always, guys. Thank you very much for joining in and watching this this video. Thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate that. So if you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, my Traders Espresso is 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, guys, once again, thank you very much. Have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe. Have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. So, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.